Hello everyone, my name is Protesilaos, also known as Prot, just to provide you with another quick status update on the hut project. Right now I am at the back side of the hut. What you see behind me is the water cabin. It is a building that is separate from the rest of the hut. I designed it this way because I think it is better. At this backside there exists some land that I plan to cultivate. What I did today is to clear the land from wild vegetation that had grown here over the past month or so. And in its stead, I built some raised garden beds. These are garden beds that will be used to cultivate vegetables that I care about, such as tomatoes, cucumbers, and so on. What I want to do is tour you around to show you the backside of the hut for you to get a full idea, a better picture of what this looks like. So switching to the rear camera now, and I will show you how it is. You can see over there I have a tank, a water tank, which I will need for the coming summer. The last summer was especially dry. We had severe droughts, and many of my plants, many of my trees didn't make it. And hopefully this year, with this in place, I will have what I need. I will have enough water. Anyway, let's start with the garden beds. Right here is a garden bed. What I am doing, and of course these are all garden beds all the way to there, we will see them one by one. What I am doing to create this garden bed is break the soil with the pickaxe and then pile it up. And what this does is it creates a fairly deep layer of soft soil. And this is easy to cultivate, and it also retains humidity, which makes it great for cultivating vegetables. And maybe you cannot tell from the field of view, but you will see that it is actually quite tall. It is more than 10 centimeters tall. By the way, maybe you can see in the camera lots of little insects that are flying around. This is because I only cleared the land from all the wild vegetation today. So they have not left yet, but they will leave eventually. This whole area used to be covered in canes or giant reeds. You can see them over there, and you can see how tall they are. This is like 7 meters or something like that. It's really, really tall. And all this land was covered in canes. And when I first got here, almost 2 years ago, when I first got here, it was basically scary to reach this point. I had to go through a lot of wild vegetation. It was shrubs, and it was bushes and canes and everything. There were rats, there were snakes, mosquitoes, the air was thick. It was like a swamp. It was really, really unnerving. I really wasn't sure at the beginning, but I persisted. And what I did is cut down everything, and that includes most of those canes. And you can see that I claimed the land and eventually have tamed it, as it were. Over there is a fig tree. Last year, when I cleared this specific spot, there used to be a mandarin tree there. I didn't plant it, it was there. I just discovered it. And my initial plan was to let it be. I left it there, and there was actually two more mandarin trees in that intermediate space. I left them all there in the hope that they will continue to grow and continue to thrive and eventually yield some fruits. But this winter was especially cold and especially long, and so the frost burnt them. There was nothing left, and I decided to uproot them and to cut them down. Actually, on the matter of the prolonged winter, we had snowfall the past Sunday. I'm not sure what the date was. I think the 13th of April 2025. We had snowfall here, folks, in the mountains of Cyprus. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is really harsh. Come on. We should be getting into springtime. Anyway, I am adapting to the weather and I am planting trees that can actually thrive in this climate. The fig tree is one of them. Right behind the fig tree is the stream which flows through there. Here is another one of those tanks that I found on the side of the road, but ultimately this is broken, so I cannot use it. But anyway, it's here. I might use it for something else, so I never throw stuff away. Over there, it's the wire that I will eventually use to build the fence around the place. It's more than I actually need, but there will be parts where I will do a couple of layers because I want it for the dogs. I might need to create an enclosure for them to be safe in case I need to leave. You see what I was telling you with the garden beds, how tall they are. Maybe I can put my hand and you can get an idea. So you can see what the difference is. So just like that. And you can see the grass there. It's still fresh, but it is slowly decaying from today. And this is the idea. Let's go and see them all. So we have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The 5th is the smallest, but they are all good enough. Over there, you will see another fig tree. So let's go to that spot. And here is another fig tree. This is considerably smaller, but it has the potential to grow as large as the other one. Here you will see there are these canes that I have planted, and I have them there to basically mark points of interest. And when I say interest, I am talking about stuff that is growing here. You will see here. There is a tree. I cut it down last year because it was rotten and I wanted to try to salvage it. I was like, okay, it has to go, and if it grows back, I will keep it. And we see now that indeed this is what is happening. It is coming back with vitality, and I really like it. This is a fruit-bearing tree. I don't know how it's called in English, but it looks like a trimmed down, like a downsized cherry tree. The fruits are more bitter, more sour rather than those of the cherry tree, but they are nice. I like them. And anyway, it's not whether I like them or not, they will be good for the birds. So I will keep them anyway. And we see here more of these. So I will keep those as well. You see it. So I will make sure that they survive. And there are some more over there. There is one back there, you see. And I will make sure that they all survive. This is the idea, or at least I will try to preserve them. Here, next to it, is a rose. And this is the aromatic rose. The one that is pink. The flowers are pink. And they have a very, very nice smell. They are basically the best smell among the roses, at least. It's really, really beautiful. Nothing like the roses that you find on the market, such as on Valentine's Day, you know, those deep red roses. Those basically have no aroma. They are useless. This is in a league of its own. There is no comparison. This is much, much better. You see here, this is considerably taller as well, and it will yield flowers in about a month or so. This is looking like what will become a flower. Yeah, of course the camera is not focusing, but anyway, you get the idea. Let's see. Do we see thorns? Let's see. Can we focus on the thorns? Come on, do it, please. Anyway, my camera is not doing it. Hocus pocus, let's see. Focus pocus. Yes, maybe that. But anyway, you get the idea, folks. So I am preserving these. Here, just to say, you may have seen this from previous videos of mine, but in case you have not seen it, this spot here wasn't as wide as it is now. until a few weeks ago, until a couple of weeks ago, the canes were growing. 1 second, it has lost focus. Okay, here. The canes were growing from there until about where that black bucket is. So it was all canes there, and I cleared them. And of course, amid the canes, there were these roses. So I was careful to preserve them. Here I cut into the mountain. The soil used to be up to this spot. So basically the opening was about half a meter here, and over there it was almost a meter. No, actually it was mostly half a meter for most of it. And actually here there wasn't land, so up to that spot back there, there wasn't any land. Here is Raizu, one of my two dogs. The land used to end here. It used to end here, and what I did is I teared down parts of the mountain, and I brought soil here, and little by little I started building the ground here. I started consolidating, I started fortifying it, as you can see over here, with the intention to redirect the stream. Here is the stream, so that instead of it coming this way and eroding my land, to go that way, and for everybody to be happy. You will see that here it looks like a junkyard, but this is what I had. I had to make do with the materials available at my disposal. These are fortifications. They are not pretty right now, but they get the job done. My long-term plan is to actually make this pretty, but first I want to make sure that there is something to prettify. Okay, so I am not going to put the cart before the horse. You see the canes I cut down, I have piled them up here, and the idea with this design is so that when there is rainfall, it won't create flows here and erode the soil from the top. There are basically two types of erosion, from the top and from the bottom. From the top is the rainfall, from the bottom is this stream over here. Here you will see that there are some stairs that I made recently. You may have seen in previous videos that these didn't exist, so I built them with materials from the area. These logs are from trees that I cut here, and what I did was to place the log and against it add some rocks so that it wouldn't roll on towards this side, and then on that side I would pile up soil, and then you don't see it here, but here there are stones as well. So within the soil there are stones, so it is actually quite solid. And then you see what I built. It doesn't look especially pretty, right? It's not like a palace or something. It's not opulent. Like, you can tell that this is really a poor man's work, but it is good. I think it is nice. It has its charm. It is natural. And anyway, it gets the job done, and it's what I care about. Here is a plum that I planted recently here, a couple of weeks ago. It is looking really nice, and I am looking forward to see more of it. Over there, and by the way, here I brought a large stone. You can see how big this is. I unearthed it. Imagine unearthing something like that. So it was really heavy. Here is a walnut tree that I discovered here last year, and we will see how it goes. The old trunk basically is no more. It died, but the roots are still alive, so there is a new one growing there. I will try to see if I can salvage it, because it will be nice to have a walnut tree here. If it doesn't make it, well, what can we do? I will try again with another one. Over there is an olive tree, and there is another olive tree here. By the way, the land I am standing on right now didn't actually exist. I mentioned this again. For the land back there, for the land here, the stream used to flow through here, right here, and it used to hit there. And then there was the flow. It was going down here, and eventually it was going there. and there was a small patch of land here, okay? So what I did initially last year, there is Atlas, by the way. So what I did last year, when I cleared this land, I took a detour from the mountain here, and I walked through there. I have showed it in videos already, where I created a path from up there, and you have seen I have also planted cacti along that path. So I came through there and I walked down there, building stairs along my way, and I descended. And once I got here, the stairs that I was building, I brought the soil down, and eventually I started consolidating the land here, and eventually, yeah, here we are. We can see the stairs, what remains of them anyway, and they go up there. I don't know how clear it is in the camera, but basically it was a lot of work, folks. Here is a poplar tree that I planted. It is looking very healthy, and this will grow to be really tall. These are the tallest trees in Cyprus, I think. There aren't any taller trees. Here is a cane that I planted here, transplanted actually. It has grown roots. We see that there is a lot of vitality here, and that's looking good. Here is the spot that I lost. I lost some land here to the floods, and I had to reclaim it. And you see that the reclamation has been successful. And I have also planted canes, and we see that they are green and they are growing. So this is fantastic. There is another cane there. Over here is a willow. I should add something here to inhibit the dogs from walking and stepping on the willow. But here it is, and here is the stream, folks. You have seen this before. I have done a lot of work here. I broke the bedrock, among others. I had to work a lot here in the cold water, but it was all worth it, and I will continue doing what I must to ensure that I am staying here. So here it is, folks. Here is the idea. Lastly, let me show you some almond trees for you to get an idea of how things work here. This is one of the almond trees that I rescued last year. It was overgrown with vegetation. I cleared it. It is now thriving. It is looking good. Now, when you see a tree like this, you may say, oh, this is one tree. And sometimes this is true. You see a tree. But let's take a look at another phenomenon, which is the phenomenon of the offshoot, namely of an existing tree producing more trunks. I dug into the mountain here and I exposed this. This is the root of another almond tree. And what you see here are two offshoots. These are trunks, okay? So these are what you see above ground. And you may say, okay, this is a tree. But in reality, all these are a single tree. So this is a tree system, okay? The same root yields many, as it were, heads or many bodies. That is the idea. And if you think that two is too many, let's see there. Let's go and see over here. Same idea here, folks. You will see this is land that I cleared to the point of what I was telling you earlier, tearing down parts of the mountain and then moving the soil. I moved more than 10 metric tons just for that part over there. More than 10. I am sure of that. And of course, where I am standing on, there was no soil either, right? So you see basically how it is. Like from here to the stream, it's more than 4 meters in height. Here, what do we have here? You see like a root again of a walnut tree, or sorry, an almond tree. Right there are the almond trees. And this root, once the root is exposed, it has the propensity to produce offshoots. So if we pay close attention, we will see one, and then we will see all these here. And these are like how many? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, you get the idea. And then there is more there, and then 2 more over there, and then another one over there, 2 or however many, another batch, and then over there as well. So you get the idea. And there is again an almond tree over here, almond tree over there. So you see how it is. Like, you see all those trees, and in reality, it is one large tree. And basically, they are all connected to the point of the offshoots. What you see right there is a almond tree that sprang from the ground last year as the offshoot again of those almond trees. And within a year and about 2 months, it has grown in height up to maybe 2 meters, 2 plus, I would say. And you see how it is. It looks like a fully grown tree, right? So there is that, folks. And I continue to take care of the land here, pay attention to the vegetation, and also do work that is good for me here, for my stay here. But also I try to keep the land in a good condition for the other animals to thrive as well, and the other forms of life, the trees and the grass and the roses and everything to thrive as well. So let me switch to the rear camera to salute you. To my camera, rather. The rear camera is the one you were already seeing stuff through. So this is my camera. Anyway, I am really happy with the work I am doing here. I do work every single day. There is always a lot to do. It's heavy work. It involves the pickaxe. It involves hammers. It involves moving soil around. It's always hard, but it's always worthwhile, and I really enjoy it. I find that I thrive when I have work like that to do. I instead of me being discouraged because of how hard it is, I am galvanized, and I keep doing more, and I keep trying. So there is that. That's all for now, folks. Thank you very much for your attention. Take care, and goodbye.